Well, hello there. I'm Pete LaFrance, the old Growler. Welcome to Meeting Expectations. What we do here, we take a look at a can of beer, a bottle of beer. Every once in a while, a spirit or a bottle of wine might drop by. We read everything that's on the label that they're trying to tell us. We take a look at the artwork. We figure out what they're trying to sell us. Then we crack it open and see if it meets expectations. All right, what do we have here today? Kind of a hairy looking thing there, boy, it's scary looking. Against the Grain, Bo and Luke, Imperial Smoked Stout, aged in bourbon barrels. All right, well, let's see what it says. As I say, they've got a kind of an evil looking fella there. Okay, it says, "It beats all you ever saw. This barrel-aged ale uses the staple ingredients, barley, rye, and corn, plus cherrywood smoked malt to create a huge imperial stout. To top it all off, we barrel-aged the beer for 3 Kentucky months. The result is a rich and complex imperial smoked stout with hints of caramel, vanilla, and spice. Brewed and canned by Against the Grain Brewery in Louisville, Kentucky. ATG Brewery, all one word, .com. It has a seal certified by the Brewers Association as an independent craft brewer. 13.0% alcohol by volume. And let's see, 1 pint, 16 fluid ounces, 475 milliliters. Art and design by RobbieDavis.com. It's $8.99 at the local beer barrel. And the government warning, I shouldn't operate heavy machinery while I drink this. I don't think I'm going to do that. And I shouldn't be pregnant. I'm a woman and I don't have to worry about that either. Okay, let's see if it has a date on here. I can't read that. All right, well, what are we expecting? Well, pretty self-explanatory. An imperial aged stout, so it's a super high test. What do we figure? 13. Whoa, it's almost a barley wine. 13% alcohol by volume, so it's going to be very warm. It's going to be very thick, smoky, because they smoke the grains as well as putting them in the whiskey barrels. I'm interested in the fact that it is a mixed grain bill here. Barley, rye, and corn. Okay, so we've got some rye and corn in here, plus some cherrywood smoked malt. Okay, so we're going to get a smoky, thick, oily, very brown, dark, I would say kind of a tan head. If that much alcohol probably won't hold the head too much, but it is going to be a real mouthful of stout. All right, let's crack this open and see if it meets those expectations. You'll notice we always use the same glassware, all of the beers. That way, nobody has a leg up when it comes to aromas or appearances. All right, here we go. Switch our hands here. Oh yes, this is also, if I mentioned it, $8.99 from the local beer barrel. Whoa, yeah. You know, it is not as dark, it's not as opaque as I was expecting. And it's having a tough time getting ahead, so to speak. Okay, must have been put back a year or two. All right, well, this is a porter. This is a stout. And stouts, all beers should be served at the correct temperature. Right up there, if you click up there, you can find out. What I usually do is I use a Thermopin. This is a lollipop, ThermoWorks lollipop. Ales should be at around 50 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit, and lagers should be, so say, 37 to 45 degrees. So let's see what we've got here. This is 50.4 degrees Fahrenheit. It is right on the beginnings of the malts of the ales, and just a little bit too warm for the lagers. So it's at the right temperature. Okay, let's take a look. What most folks do when they do a tasting is they take a look, they sniff, and then they taste it, and then they let you know what they think. Well, what I do is I take a look, I sip first, and then sniff, because sometimes the nose can deceive the taste buds. I'll let Master Sommelier Fred Dex explain it all to you right up there. All right, well, it certainly looks like a stout. There's no doubt about that. Let's see if it tastes like a stout. Cheers. You notice I took 2 sips. The reason for that is that the taste buds, well, the little fellas, they've had to sit through everything that I've said earlier and not paying too much attention. All of a sudden they get hit with something a little bit cold and full of flavors that they're blown away. What the happened? Oh, please, sir, can we have some more? So I gave them a second sip so that they could think about it and let me know what they thought. And I'll tell you what they think. In unison, they're saying this is a classic stout with undertones of the vanilla and the cherry in there. But I like the difference that the other grains make in this. They smooth it out a bit. It doesn't have that real kind of rasp that Guinness has. It doesn't have the kind of pucker power that other stouts have. The underlying flavors are rich and malty. I mean, this is a real malt fest. However, there's enough hop on there to finish out in the finish of the flavors in the very back of the throat. You get that. Now, I'm gonna take a nosedive and see what we can find there. Wow. Yeah, there's wood, and I'm getting vanilla and cherry. I'm getting cherry in there. Another sip. Wow, that's a smooth beer. Incredibly smooth beer. And I'm not getting the warmth in the back of the throat. And, well, no, there it is. I just didn't take a good enough sip. Yeah, this is a warm beer. A warm beer on a cold night. This would be the one. This would be a real sipping beer. Let's see. They mentioned cherry wood. Yeah, cherry wood smoked malt. So that's where I'm getting the cherry from. There's not too much smoke on this, though. I'm going to go for another nosedive and a sip just to see if I maybe missed the smoke. I'm getting more cherry than smoke. But boy, wow. What a well-balanced beer. So, does Against the Grain's Bow and Loop Imperial Smoked Stout aged in bourbon barrels from down Kentucky, does it meet expectations? It certainly does. If you enjoyed this presentation, please click on the subscribe button and the bell. That way you won't miss any of our presentations. A thumbs up would be great, and a comment would be really appreciated. I'm Pete LaFrance, the old Growler, hoping all of your beers meet expectations.